Well, midday shows are challenging. You got to work around your responsibilities, your daytime job.
Responsibilities. Ew.
All right. We're officially live now.
The following is a presentation of Stewed Productions.
Wait, we've been live on Facebook.
Okay.
That's okay. Hello.
Yep.
Welcome to the Liquid Lunch Show, Texas midday craft beer talk show.
Woo woo.
Yes.
I'm your
Hey,
host for
Brendan,
today. Sorry, we're missing our favorite Josh. Sorry you can't be here, but I'm happy to take his spot and hopefully provide some entertainment for you guys.
Yes, this is exciting. I like it.
Well, we appreciate it. Josh, by the way, is on assignment in case anybody's worried about Josh.
Most important.
He's on special assignment.
And I will say this. You're much better looking than Josh.
And now we're 2 against 1. Now we got the girls.
I need to work on my room though. This is my new office it's my repurposed dining room. I don't use a formal dining room. And so I decided to use this area as my new podcast / work environment.
Nice.
But since COVID, since COVID, I wasn't able to, really use this room as a dedicated podcast, room like you guys have there. So whose room is that, by the way? When you guys do air from a room, who's...
This is our study.
Yeah, my workout room. So I had to go in my other room and work out. So
it's a study / storage room. We live in an apartment, so there's not a lot of extra room. So if I were to move the
it does look like you're in a closet.
I know.
Like over my left shoulder is just a bunch of junk.
Yeah, we don't have a garage, so this is kind of our indoor garage, so to say.
No biggie. I mean, no biggie. Well, to those that don't know me, I am a big fan of Liquid Lunch. I really think what this team has put together over the last, how many years have you guys been on?
4 years. This month,
4 years.
Actually.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So 4 years. That's such a great. So congratulations to 4 years and congratulations to your almost 200th show, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Technically, this is show
198,
199. 199. I think I mislabeled it.
Oh, he mislabeled it. Really? No, that never
199 and a half.
I think I can fix these.
Well, that's okay. We can worry about that later. We do the show now. But and I think is today right around the 4th anniversary, isn't it? Right around the actual 4th year. So it's like,
time is going by. I mean, this year's already halfway done. And I'm just like, okay, first of all, thank goodness, right? Let's get over this hump that we're in. But 4 years is a ton. Lindley and I, we, as you know, we do a podcast called Draft Queens. It's a local, we try to focus on local craft beer predominantly, but especially Texas beers. And so really, the idea, and we were on your show almost a year ago. Can you believe it?
Oh, wow. Was it? Oh my gosh.
Almost a year ago, we debuted, and I think it was raining that day really, really hard. And the plan was to meet you guys up north, so I live in South Houston, actually in the Pearland area. And, the storm was too bad, but we had such a great time on that show. Right. We've recorded a lot since then. We've learned a lot. Kelly from New Braunfels Brewing Company was our first guest in the studio. We've also had a ton of people just want to come on the show, but we've launched kind of a different take on our beer show. Not only is it interviewing, the community and brewery owners and industry folks, but we've also started doing a lot of like beer reviews, little mini segments, where we just kind of talk about, things that are happening in the craft beer community. It's kind of like, I don't want to say it's like a gossip show because we don't really gossip, but there is some kind of like level of insider information that's given on our shows. We're big supporters of local Houston breweries and we want them to exceed. So through COVID, through everything that's going on in this world, our focus for our show has been how can we use our influence of what we like to do. We like to drink beer, we like to talk beer, and we like to meet people in beer. What can we do to help make sure that we keep, the breweries that are in this area? And also it encourages still other breweries to open. There's a lot of space in Houston, right? What's the closest brewery to your home?
Closest brewery would
Walking
be actually Great Heights.
I think Walking Stick.
Great Heights.
Okay, so you're off of
Stick.
like Wakefield then.
Yeah, okay. Sort of. I mean, we got a great location because we're close to those two. We're real close to Brash and Astral and New Magnolia and Eureka Heights. All these breweries are about a mile away from us.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's fantastic. Down here in Brazoria County, we've got a couple of breweries. The closest brewery to my house is probably Blackfish, which is maybe 2-mile drive, maybe a mile and a half.
Oh, okay.
And then Valinson's in the upper direction. So I'm kind of where Pearland and Alvin meet in this, kind of lower rural suburban area. So anyways, it's been crazy to watch you guys on the show and really follow what you're doing. So please extend my thank yous to Josh, if you're listening. Thanks for being such a big supporter of Houston craft beer, because that's one of our biggest missions. And we love seeing other people out here doing the same thing.
So do we, and Josh and I are both big fans of Draft Queens.
Yay!
Yeah,
it's Lindley and I sitting at the bar talking mess.
Hey,
well,
this is pretty much what our show is. It's like, hey, what's going on?
I mean, honestly, that's kind of what Liquid Lunch is too.
And it's a good life, isn't it? It's a good life.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. I also do a beer blog where I focus on kind of some of the things that I like to do. I'm a mother. And I have to often balance my responsibilities as a mother, as a full-time employee, as, a sister, everything. You have to try to be everything to everyone. And it's a good illustration of how I balance that all. So, I'm going to start kind of dabbling in some cooking videos pretty soon.
Oh, cool.
I've got some, recipes that I want to share, a lot of garden stuff, of course, the beekeeping. We started off doing about a year ago. Which, by the way, I got some honey for you guys.
Cool!
Sweet.
Yes, please.
I'm ready to do another batch of mead.
Oh, okay. How about this? All right, so I'm looking to get into mead making. I've never made any mead. I've tasted a lot, and just never really got around. But now I've got this abundance of honey sitting around.
Man. We can help you, guide you in the right direction for the best of that, for sure.
Definitely need some tasters for sure.
I've only done one batch of mead, which I am currently doing as we speak.
Yeah.
It won't be ready for probably like 3 more months, though.
Ooh, okay, so tell me about it. Tell me just a quick overview of mead.
Okay,
and
super simple.
Wait, shouldn't we start off with
super simple? You take water, you put a bunch of honey in it, you mix it up real good. I was told to bring it up to about 170 degrees for about 20 minutes to kill some of the bacteria. Okay. And then you just put it in a carboy, put some yeast in there, and then let it sit.
And that's it. Yeah.
And that's it. It's super easy. I actually put blueberries in mine too.
Ooh, yum.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, keep it clean and let it ferment.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean,
I'm sitting over there in the corner.
The only thing easier would be cider.
Okay. Never brewed that either. Never dabbled in that.
So cider, you can do it real easy and just buy apple juice and put yeast in it.
I know. Is that cheating though?
Ferment.
Kinda.
It is.
Well, should we do a little quick? I'm getting thirsty.
Okay. Hold on.
I was just trying to hydrate a bit ago.
I think it's about that time.
I do have a question for you.
Very important.
And everything's going to be real slow. So I apologize for any technical issues. We're doing this on Zoom, and it's real different than how I normally do it. So I apologize, but I do have a question for you. A very important question.
Most important question of the day.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It is. Uh-oh.
Well,
does Josh have the...
No, crap. Hold
on. Technical difficulties. Story of my life.
For sure.
All right. What are you drinking?
Watch it drinking.
Yeah.
I know. I always do.
So, what are you drinking, Sylvia?
Right now, water.
Okay.
I'm kind of in the middle of an 8-hour workday. I blocked off some time to spend with you guys. However, I do have a beer here, and I did tell my boss I was doing a beer show, so he's cool with it.
Hey, cool boss, nice.
But I'm gonna go ahead and crack it open. This one doesn't have a label, but I'm drinking Spindle Tap's Aceite Crudo. So they're Russian Imperial Stout. Hey, if you're gonna drink a beer during work hours, make it count, worth it, right?
Yeah. Just if you have one beer,
exactly,
make it one worth three.
Yes. So figured go with a Russian Imperial Stout. I didn't have any ridiculous AF. That would be my favorite.
Oh wow,
stout right now. But this is also great. And I love Spindle Tap too. So, what about you? What you drinking?
All right. Let's see how bad I can screw this up.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Hang in there, guys.
I am drinking one. Well, I let Marcus in.
Oh, yay.
And
perfect timing.
While he's joining us, do I have to unmute him? No, he's got to unmute. Marcus got to unmute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
And Marcus, can you do us a big favor and flip your phone horizontally? There we go. Perfect.
All right.
Hello, welcome. We're doing a round of what you drinking.
Yes.
So I'm drinking, just for the show, I poured up some of our Thrifty Drip, our hazy double IPA.
Oh, nice. Okay. I got so many questions. All right.
All right.
I know, right?
So, really quickly, we'll get into this. I'm drinking.
Oh, nice.
It's not a dark beer. It's just a dark glass.
It's a dark glass.
Yes.
All set lager.
I haven't seen that pint glass in a while.
I know, right?
I don't know where
kicking it old school.
I don't know. We have such a big collection of pint glasses. It's not even funny.
Well, welcome to the show, Marcus. We're glad to see you here and that you were able to carve some time out of your busy day to talk with us. So thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Marcus is the founder and head brewer of Weathered Souls Brewing Company in San Antonio, Texas. And in addition to, this is your second show?
Second time
your second.
lunch.
So welcome back.
He's a regular.
And Marcus, just so you know, the last time you were on Liquid Lunch, it was at that time it was our most viewed show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And your last show is definitely in our top 5 most viewed shows of all times.
Oh, great.
That's cool.
And so this one, we're going to try to beat the record.
There you go.
That's the challenge with this.
That'll be number 1, right?
We got to. So welcome back, and thank you for being here. There's a lot of stuff kind of going out, in the world right now, and I want to get to that, and I want to talk about, of course, the Black is Beautiful beer initiative that you've started and you're spearheading. Mm-hmm. But I want to know a little bit about you first. We met. I don't know if you remember me. We met at Drink of Ages. You were in town to do a beer preview or a tasting. I was there for a short period of time, and then I saw you. We met, and then that was it. We couldn't really talk. But I want to know a little bit about you. Tell me about yourself. Where are you from? And basically where you're from.
So I'm from Sacramento, California, Rancho Cordova, California, to be exact, which is like it's its own city at this point, but like outside suburb of Sacramento, kind of what Alamo Heights is to San Antonio.
Okay.
So grew up there, lived there my entire life. I didn't transition to San Antonio until about 8 years ago. From there, my brewer's assistant.
Work.
A little bit.
The most important job at the brewery, right? Quality assurance.
A black currant cheesecake stout.
Oh boy. That sounds like Thanksgiving in a can.
Oh my gosh.
So from there, basically, I took a promotion with my job from Citibank. I was a fraud manager. Moved out to San Antonio, did some training, and then basically decided to stay. And that point, I started home brewing back when I was in Sacramento, so transitioned out here, kept home brewing, and then got a stage to where I thought my home brew was okay. So I basically started going ahead and bringing it to different restaurants, bars, stuff like that, and people try the beer. Then I ended up getting a job at another local brewery as an assistant brewer. Worked there for a year, kind of learned more so what not to do than what to do. But then in the process of that, grew kind of unhappy with not being able to experiment, not being able to have fun, not doing my own beers, that whole type of aspect. So at that point, I ended up quitting. And then me and Mike had garnered a friendship, my business partner, from knowing me from the same location, and we used to go out and drink that type of stuff. And then basically one day we were out drinking, I turned to Mike and I was like, when are we gonna open a brewery? He's like, I've been waiting for you to ask me that. And we started working on the business plan the next day.
Dang, so like real grassroots, like start from the bottom, now we're here kind of feel.
Yeah. So started from brewing, the whole cooler system, and then just kind of went from there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so Cali, obviously probably, I mean, you were still young when you moved. How much of the California influences? Well, I did a little bit of Facebook stalking, sorry. And I think we are the same age. Are you 35?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know what? I'm 35 too.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
It's a good age. It's a good age. Cheers to that, man. Cheers to that, man. So how much of the California influence was influenced in your craft beer, if any?
A lot. I tend to stick to like West Coast IPAs, more hoppy beers, the heavy big boy stouts. We've gotten a little bit into sours and stuff like that. But like our spectrum of beers kind of across the board. So as the last 4 years have gone, we've kind of just developed our core stuff from there, and then pushed to different styles. But originally, I would say that the California in me had probably a lot of influence to the beer that I was making starting out.
Why are we getting a reverb?
Okay. Jules, did you say something?
Sorry, I was hearing him twice.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was asking Kennedy about the sound. Yeah, I was like, why are we getting a reverb? So, yeah. But we got it cleared up.
Yeah.
Okay,
so that's awesome. So beers across the board. I've been to your brewery once. I went last year. I took my daughter. We actually did a little San Antonio trip. And I said, we got to stop at this brewery. I've been hearing good things. At the time, I guess you guys were starting to launch. It could have been around the time where you're launching your membership, or you were just starting to get in the process of your membership. Because it was around the time where people were lining up. There was some shares going out on the front, a lot of activity. And I figured, I'm going to go and check it out. Well, I didn't go on a day when any of that was happening. I went, and my daughter and I sat in the tap room and we played Heads Up. I sent Kennedy a picture he can share if he wants to. And a couple of other pictures I took when I was at the brewery. Really awesome place. One of the things that stood out the most was you have an image that says it's all about the beer, right? Mm-hmm. Well, so tell me about that. Was that your idea? Was that Mike's idea? Where did that idea come from?
That was my brother's idea, actually. So that was something that basically when I won't go too much into detail, but there was some animosity when I left the other brewery and and even then, coming into the beer scene in San Antonio, we weren't really by the other, well, I won't say everybody, but the old
school versus new school kind of thing.
Yeah. At the new school, especially because we were the first ones to do hazy IPAs.
Awesome.
First ones to do pastry stouts. We were the first ones to do the heavy fruited, super, like smoothie sours in San Antonio. We were the first for a lot of stuff, and so some people felt some type of way, and that was basically our statement, because none of that ever mattered to us. It was all about trying to create an atmosphere of making good beer within what we can do, and supporting San Antonio, trying to build a craft beer scene here, and supporting local. And so that's always been our goal, always our mission. So outside of that, my brothers always used to tell me, just keep it about the beer. And so Mike ended up liking the statement and put it on the wall.
Well, it's a powerful one. And I think it means a lot. And I think now, there was a picture of the flight that I had. Of course, I got to get, at the time I was going through my fruit thing, and I was like, I got to have all the fruit. Great beers, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think now that message is it's changed now, right? So it's all about the beer, but it's all about the community now too, as well. It's all about the people. It's the people behind the beers.
So we've always tried to support local, always tried to support the community.
Yeah.
We've always tried to make it a mission to build the camaraderie within the craft beer scene here in San Antonio. So that's been something that's always been important for me, especially growing up in Sacramento and seeing the beer scene there, and how most generally everybody gets along, helps each other out, that type of stuff. And San Antonio has gotten to the stage to where mostly everybody is doing that, and everybody's getting along, supporting each other, and trying to move towards one goal. It's never a competition. I mean, you can have your own personal competitions, I guess, with other breweries, but especially for being how new San Antonio is to the craft beer scene, I would think the most important thing is building our name as a city, not individually. So that's always been the most important thing for us. Yeah.
Right. So do you have any direct, breweries that you like partner with on a routine basis? Maybe that's collabs, maybe that's any other types of partnerships, like maybe even distribution partnerships. And I don't know what the legalities are on that, but
we have some pretty good relationships around the state of Texas. Locally and within San Antonio, we have a really good relationship with Isla Street. Me and JD have been friends for a few years now. He hung out a lot at the brewery before they opened and stuff like that, trying to learn the processes of working a larger platform than homebrew and all that type of stuff. Outside of that, Dustin and Erica at Cactus Land are some really good friends. I talk to them often. I'm starting to develop a pretty good relationship with Dustin at Roadmap. I'm actually going to be going over there to check out their Black is Beautiful beer that they're brewing today.
Awesome.
Outside of San Antonio, for Austin, pretty much we have like one good friend in every city. So Austin, Dripping Springs would be Jester King. Me and Jeff. Well, Jeff has been a great mentor over the years. And Dallas, we were really good friends with Turning Point. Houston, we're really good friends with Bob Brew House.
Marcus is brewing his today too, right? I saw that on Facebook that he's going to be. I'm a big fan of Marcus's. In fact, I was hoping that he would try to make this beer a black IPA. Him and I have been talking about a hazy black IPA for a long time. And so if you close your eyes, you can't even see what color it is, but it gives the same profile as a really dank, forward,
I guess
IPA, but with a little bit of roast. Yeah, exactly. Well, awesome. We got someone else joining us, which is perfect timing because it kind of leads right into what we were, what I wanted to talk about, and that's the Black is Beautiful beer initiative. Marcus, you started it. Give us a lowdown of how this idea started, and what you were thinking of when you said, you know what, I need to do something, and I need to do this.
Hold on, sorry to interrupt. Bobby, I think your mic's muted. If you don't mind unmuting it. And also, Bobby, can you turn your camera sideways? There we go.
No, I can't turn my camera sideways. I'm on the brew platform, so.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. now we can hear. And I apologize, Marcos.
And welcome.
Marcos.
Hello.
Welcome, Bobby. Thank you for joining.
What's going on, guys? No problem.
So where did it all start?
All right. So the Black is Beautiful initiative started 17 days ago. So if you would have asked me the Saturday before the Monday that we launched it, I had no idea what I was going to do, what the concept was, or anything. Basically, I woke up Sunday pretty pissed off at myself for not participating in the local protests that were happening here in San Antonio. And so basically, I had to figure out a way. I had some black guilt, I guess you can say, and I had to figure out a way to contribute. But I wanted to use the platform that I had with the brewery to make that happen. And so, I mean, being that, our general consumption of customers are middle-aged Caucasian male, I basically had to come up with a way to do it without upsetting our massive customer base. So originally, what I was going to do was just generalized beer release, the same thing, the Black is Beautiful, use the label, and we were going to do our own beer, do a one-off, donate some money to a local charity, and call it a day. In the course of that, I was having a discussion with Jeffrey Stuffings at Chesterfield. And earlier that day, we were talking about race relations and some other things like that. And that kind of what sparked me to want to start looking at trying to do something. So when I sent him the label, he was like, oh, this is a great label. But then he challenged me to take it a step further. And he was like, I don't know how comfortable you are in doing this, but maybe you want to turn this into a collab. And I was like, you know what, Jeff? That's an incredible idea. So I basically spent the remaining night, early mornings, writing the mission statement, and then got up 3 o'clock in the morning, went to the brewery, and knocked out the initiative once I had the mission statement. Once I knew exactly what I wanted to do, the initiative itself kind of flowed. And then even then, a lot of it's the basis from what Other Half did with the All Together initiative, and
right.
that was a good footprint, good basically groundwork to be able to pull off of that and get people to react off of what our initiative was. So what the Black is Beautiful initiative is a collaborative effort amongst, I guess it's worldwide now. We're in about 14 countries, all 50 states. We're at almost 800 breweries, and it's a call for all breweries to participate in this collaboration of this stout recipe that we created and basically give back to their local communities into support of equality and inclusion. And basically, the goal is to now put these breweries at the forefront of their communities, locally, and start having these people of color, Black people, and other demographics start looking at them as leaders within their community.
Very cool. Well said.
Yeah, no doubt. So you built the base. It's your recipe, that oatmeal stout. Are you going to just do the base, or are you guys planning anything special to have a whole lineup of different things? What's the plan?
So right now I have 4 variations planned. I have the base stout that we did. We'll release that. Obviously, I have to release the base version of it. Then we did a collaboration with the homies at Eastla Street. We're doing a pecan caramel, and our friend Josie, she baked some chocolate sugar cookies to resemble all the puzzle pieces in the label. So we ended up adding those. We ended up adding those into the mash.
Well, that's a lot of work to be thrown in the mash.
That's cool.
Yeah, Josie's been rocking with me since the homebrew days. So,
okay, I love that creativity.
She looked out for us. So we ended up doing that, and then we're going to be coming out with a Rwandan coffee and hazelnut version, and then we'll be doing a barrel-aged version sometime next year as well.
Awesome, man! That all sounds exciting. And are any of those going to be offered up to the general public, or is that really reserved for members? Have you guys decided?
Oh no! So this will be we're doing about 10 barrel batches of each. So I mean, we take care of our members, so members always get first dibs at all of our releases. That's part of their membership. But outside of that, we should have quite a bit left for the general public. And we'll be releasing the 3 variations outside of the barrel-aged version the 4th of July.
Okay, awesome. Well, Bobby, I know you've been patiently waiting. How are you today? You're busy brewing, I see.
Pretty good, yeah. Just it's like every day. It never actually only about the first depending on the day, like since brew day starts about 6, I get about 2 hours of stuff going the way I want it to. And then after that, and everybody wakes up, it's fucked. Because then people start calling and they need this and everything you had planned in the day.
I know you're
like, all right. Well, I guess I'll do that now. No, but everything's going fine.
Well, I'm glad you took our call at short notice yesterday to be able to join. I wanted to invite you because I know that you're going to be brewing the Blackest Beautiful beer as well, and I thought your take on it was a little interesting. And I wanted to talk about it. What's the plan with the Nordic yeast and coconut, huh?
So the intention is so this is actually my first time meeting Marcus, and it's an e-meet, so it's kind of awkward.
Nice
also,
yay! Hello now.
So I never met Marcus, but I looked at some of Weathersold's offerings. It's a lot of big, robust stouts, a lot of interesting ingredients. Like he mentioned, a lot of variants for his. He's going to be releasing from the brewery. So I said, all right, well, let's take this opportunity to be pretty creative. Sylvia, or I guess everybody, Marcus, I don't know if you know, I'm kind of some would call it a stick in the mud in terms of my brewing pastimes. I'm a lager brewer, so I do kind of traditional things, stuff like that. So the idea of putting cookies and anything else in the beer makes me a little upset. Not like actually upset, but I'm like, no, just make
He likes
beer.
to give us a hard time about it.
So, like all the fruity beers, I'm like, all right, I can carbonate fruit juice too. But I mean, why would we do that? So, it's just a little bit different. But I said, this is a great opportunity and platform to do something a little bit different. So we're using the base beer. We're going to be fermenting it with one of my new favorite yeasts is Cavia Cornadal strain up there at 99 degrees, push a lot of the pineapple fruit flavor. Then we'll be aging it on toasted coconut. And so I think what is going to happen is it's going to bring more of a tropical stout approach to it, even though with the black patent in there, it's going to be very robust. The recipe that Marcus designed, as he says, if you look at his notes, is it's meant to be very layered, have a lot of color. You go from caramel malts all the way to the big black dark patent. And so it's going to be an interesting beer, and I think it's going to be fun to layer that with the fruity flavors as well as, then the toasted coconut at the end. Coconut's kind of a weird one because it has a lot of fats, but I think once you toast it up a little bit, it'll be pretty fun.
Wow.
Yeah, you'll lose a little head retention, but you'll be okay.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I used it once. We did on one of our barrel age series, we used some coconut, and it certainly showed that way. But with the amount of protein you've got in that thing, I'm not too worried.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Sadly, just because we just got out from underneath our wholesalers Monday. So there's been a lot of transitions for us. It's a good thing having control of our brand again. We're very excited for that.
Yeah,
but
that's very good.
For the last month though, we've been doing nothing because they knew it was coming, and so they've just been slowly depleting their inventories. So I've been in a weird holding pattern, and so I would have liked to have done a little bit of a bigger batch, but to start at least. We're going to be doing a 1-barrel batch. We're going to sell it all through Crowlers. Obviously, the profit for that going. We're actually chose Floyd's Memorial Foundation, being that we're here in Houston and he is from Houston. That's where it is. So we thought that was a pretty good one to choose as a foundation that we're going to be supporting.
Wow. Thanks, Bobby. That's awesome. I look forward to the beer. So you said it's going to be in Crowlers only and probably in the tap room, right?
Well, I don't know. Just because it's so hard to track in the tap room. I mean, we know the overall volume. I'd like it to kind of go out there. I want to use the label. I want people to take pictures of the label. That way it gets more word out about the actual initiative versus just like untapping it with a picture of a dark stout. So that was my intention of having it Crowlers. That way we can get a little bit more branding around it instead of just releasing it on draft.
Nice.
Right. That sounds like a good plan.
Like I said, eventually... If we can, I would like, initially I was thinking like a 15-barrel batch or something would be really fun, but with the uncertainty of where the bars are, to be able to put some draft out, this, that, and the other, I wanted to participate, but, we kind of couldn't do that yet. But if it works well, I mean, it's not like the initiative is a one-time bang, done deal. So, should it go really well and we see how things are changing, and as we get back into our self-distribution, role, we might say, hey, let's go ahead and do a little bit bigger.
Cool. So we'll just keep an eye out on Instagram for a post of when it will be released and to come up to the tap room and get ready.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to let people know. I haven't brewed it yet. So there's it sounds like there's some people wanting to kind of like document like, hey, this is, see as many of the Blackest Beautiful brews and try to, I don't know, some guys trying to put some stuff together. I was like, all right, man, you can come watch me brew. It's mostly me hanging around, but sure, yeah, whatever you want to do.
Pick up that shovel or something.
Get those really cool pictures of me, putting grain super slowly. I'm like, that's not, no, just put it in there, move. You gotta get with it. But they'll make it look artistic and all that, and that would be rad. But I wanted to catalog that because there's other, Marcus and them are doing a big batch. There's a couple other breweries doing bigger batches. This will be a 1-barrel pilot batch at least to start. So it'll show the scope that you can still be part of this, and that it doesn't really matter as long as you're participating. So do what you can and try to. The big point is, again, that's why I want to do that label. Get people to go say, what is that, and think about it and start to engage, as opposed to just be like, hey, there's another beer coming out. Now, obviously we have to do that, but for this particular one, you really want them to go that extra mile to go read about it.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah. Yep, the mission statement for the beer is more important than the beer itself, and I think it's so fun and creative, and I'm excited to hear about what other people plan. Marcus, do you have any other details of other crazy, fun interpretations of this beer, or anyone that's taken it off?
I have heard some fun stuff. I don't want to share anybody's secrets or anything like that. But one of the most excited I'm for probably is the answer.
Oh, okay. So the answer's in Richmond, Virginia, and they're famous for a lot of their heavily fruited stuff. I think they have some IPAs. Yeah.
Yeah, they do some stouts.
Yeah, and some stouts.
I got to be a part of their chain of trying to figure out what they were going to do. So
yeah. So
I'm pretty excited.
So that's an interesting question because I find that there's a lot of breweries that have stuck around over the years and kind of gained this this hype train to go along with their name, right? So their name carries value for their beer that they represent or whatever. So what is it about the answer or, I guess, the relationship with them? Do you know them well, or is it just more of like because they're widely known?
Over the course of the year, I've got to know some of them pretty well.
Okay, so they're friends of yours. Okay, awesome. Okay.
Yeah, and so even then, some of the other people that I know that are doing some of the different collabs, we've garnered pretty good relationships with. But then there's also the aspect that I know that some of these people have people of color that work in their brewery that I know personally. And they've let them get involved with the actual beer itself and coming up with the recipe as far as the extra ingredients and stuff like that. So it's nice to be able to see some of these people that normally wouldn't be able to participate in these processes get a little bit of shine from it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So that's an interesting point. So what was the proceeds you guys are donating the batch that you guys have for Weathered Souls? It's Know Your Rights campaign.
So for us, since we're doing 3 batches, and each batch should bring in a decent amount of funds, I'm thinking about splitting within 3 different foundations now. So originally we were going to do Know Your Rights Camp, but I don't want to donate everything to just that. So I'm thinking at this point, I'm going to choose 2 local foundations or organizations. I've actually been researching the last couple of days. Wife's been looking at them the last couple of days. So I'll probably make a decision this weekend as far as which ones we actually want to go for. I've been trying to, this is very personal for me. So I want to make sure that the money that we do donate goes to a cause that I feel is a good representation for what we're trying to do currently.
Yep, absolutely.
So, yeah.
For anybody wondering, that's not easy. Number one, there's a lot of groups. Anytime you're trying to do anything, fundraising wise, it's very difficult. In case you're curious, we've gotten in the past when we've picked various things to do, everybody else is like, well, how come you didn't do this one? Dude, it's one that I feel comfortable with, one that I align with, and one that I believe in. That's all I got. I'm sure you have a reason why that one's great, but you have to go with the one that you feel is going to be the best representation of what you're trying to do.
Exactly. And that was also the reason why I didn't want to go ahead and dictate to one large foundation, fund, nonprofit, or anything like that. I wanted to leave it up to the local community, the local breweries, so they could support locally and support the local communities and foundations and stuff like that, and start getting more involved that way instead of doing some mass donation that might not mean as much if they were to donate whatever money to something that's in their own backyard.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And so addition into the beer, you also have a virtual 5K coming up as well?
So there's the people that put on the Helotes 5K went ahead and did a virtual 5K. So you can go ahead and get signed up for that.
So how does that work? Because it sounds like you don't actually have to run, which I'm about.
Yeah.
Oh, you still gotta run.
Can you sit on your couch and virtually run?
Yeah, just virtually run.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's, you're still supposed to run and document what you did. Your time,
oh, okay.
But they say it's virtually because of COVID, you can't run in large groups and all that.
Yeah, right.
So you still got to get your 3 miles and some change in. But,
okay, yeah.
But
takes all the fun out of it now.
But you don't want to run with like the VR goggles on. You'll probably run into something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've had that. We have a fundraising campaign on Custom Ink right now, where basically we've already met the goal on the shirts and sweatshirts. So they have a minimum, and then anything past the minimum, all that money gets donated to whatever foundation we set. So right now it's set for all those additional funds to go to the Know Your Rights camp. And then we should be having some merchandise within our actual tap room soon to go ahead and make donations with that. And yeah, so there's a few little things popping up.
And you guys plan to keep the recipe online for a while and let breweries jump on board whenever they like? There's no time frame to do this, right?
We actually have a home brewer that wants to do it.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, one of our home brewers.
Jeffrey
mentioned he's
top fan of the show. He's gonna take a stab at it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. We shared it with our group.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the way that I figure, there's quality is not going to be changed overnight, right? So my thought process is I already know that because of COVID and stuff like that, some breweries productions are a little bit different. So this type of initiative is a more of get in when you can fit in. Quality is not going anywhere. Inequality is not going anywhere. So, whenever you can participate, whenever you can brew the beer, whenever you can sign up is fine by us. We're going to let the initiative run for as long as we can.
Right. So there really is no reason for a brewery to not want to participate unless, of course they just flat out don't want to. But there's a homebrew recipe.
To me, I feel like there's 5,000 breweries in the United States. We should at least see half of that participating in it.
For sure. I agree.
And even then, if money is the issue, there's people doing small batches, small runs, but then we also have a ton of vendors that are showing their support and offering free ingredients, discounted ingredients, and stuff like that to help offset costs. Even American Canning's offering discounts for canning, different little things for that. So, there's no excuse whatsoever not to participate and get involved and show your support for this initiative.
Yeah, you're right. You are right.
We do have one viewer that actually has already brewed it, a Limont
B. Yay.
So that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So he wrote in that he did brew it. So there's one
awesome.
already. That's cool.
It's on my list of things to do. And then also we have a Balcones barrel that we're thinking about maybe cleaning up and putting that in. Yeah, a little small one,
nice.
But haven't brewed in like a year, so it's kind of shame on me.
Perfect time then.
Yeah, exactly. No time like the present.
Right. Well, and then I would probably just give it away. So I run a couple of beer groups on Facebook that I encourage everyone to check out. The first one is Texas Beer Collective. It's a small group that's focused on just kind of sharing Texas beer experiences and, sensory. There's a really, really diverse group of folks there. That's core mission is to make Texas beer successful. So please check it out. And then this morning I figured, you know what? There's going to be a lot of, Black is Beautiful beer out there. And so I'm a pretty active beer trader myself, part of a lot of groups. And I figured, you know what? Let's see if we can get all of the people that want to trade different style, Black is Beautiful cans all around. And let's try to get them in a space. So Black is Beautiful Collective is on Facebook. We just started it today. If you want to follow the beers that are going around. If you want to get in touch with someone, there's going to be a lot of good trade partners, especially out of the Houston area where I'm from. And then San Antonio, Marcus, I sent you an invite, by the way, too. To swap beers and see what else is going around. I mean, I heard the Alchemist is also going to brew. I mean,
there's a lot of big breweries starting to get involved. You figure Bell's is signed up. I mean, even breweries that are outside of craft beer. So Guinness has contacted us.
Oh, wow.
Both Goose Island locations. We've even had people outside of beer. So Jägermeister contacted us. I have a call with Uncle Nearest later today. So hopefully we can start getting some of these liquor industries and stuff like that involved too. Because my whole thought process is dealing with this particular initiative. It can go within so many ranges and so many different industries. But then you look at the beer industry and how many people have already involved themselves in this. We don't see this with any other business, no other industry or anything like that. The craft beer industry in itself is inclusive to supporting these type of initiatives and things like that. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's about time that these other businesses step their game up and start coming out in drones to support as well.
I mean, and you said it's only been a few weeks since you even started this, and there's already
we're at 17 days.
17 days.
17 days, and there's already 500 breweries on board?
800.
And you got huge national companies like Jägermeister and Guinness contacting. And that's
I've been putting up the Texas breweries involved, and there's about 100.
Yeah.
Texas is showing out.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Good work.
Yeah.
Good
and
work.
Southern Yankee, Sydney said Southern Yankee has it on their schedule to brew too.
Oh, yay.
So
cool.
So that will be neat.
Yeah.
So I was thinking the same thing, Sylvia. It'd be great if there was a way you could collect all the cans or, so that's awesome that you're doing that. That's really cool.
Yeah. I have a lot of friends that are trade partners and, I just looking at the map this morning when I was on the website, just taking a look at all the states, and I'm like, man, there's going to be some really great beers going around. I wonder, if I know Bobby's selling crowlers. I may just get a couple of crowlers and send those out to different people that I know would appreciate that style and that,
absolutely,
that level of beer. And that's what it's about, right? It's about sharing beer. It's about sharing experiences. Yeah. That's what Texas Beer Collective is about. And that's what, hopefully we'll keep the group up for as long as we need and just see how long it circles. I'm interested to try some, weird interpretations of this beer and also some great classical styles of a traditional oatmeal stout,
True.
So awesome. Cool. What else? I had a bunch of things that I wanted to talk about. But all of it's
you don't need notes.
Well, they're more of just to quickly reference, It's like, oh my goodness. But I'm just shocked about the level of awareness that this initiative has already brought. I saw an article on Forbes. I saw an article on, the Brewers Association picked it up, Brewbound. I mean, it's making its waves. What can other people do, just normal beer drinkers like myself, to help?
Share some more. Obviously, tag your favorite breweries, tag your favorite businesses. Urge them to get involved. There is a sign up for consumers. We're going to start sending out newsletters on ways that they can help out. Ways to support the initiative. So go ahead and get signed up on the website, theblackandbeautiful.beer. But the most important thing, and especially because we don't advertise. So one thing about us over the 4 years that we've been open, we've never advertised. We've never paid for advertisement or anything like that. So for us, it's more so everything has been grown organically. So you figure, we're at almost 800 breweries just from the power of social media and people sharing these posts and people tagging their favorite breweries. So if people continue to do that and, push the initiative, then we can get even further.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what it's about. So I saw you're dropping 6 stouts this weekend in the tap room.
Yes.
What's that all about? Do you know it's deadly heat in Texas?
No.
Well, we haven't, we've been closed for the last few months. And so
True.
I just did about 40 barrels of stout recently to start filling up some barrels. And they had about 14, 15 barrels left over. So I said, you know what? We're going to have a stout event. It's been a long time. And then, even before the pandemic, we were hosting events every month of like different beer releases. So we got to kind of get back into form. So I woke up from a nap Sunday and was like, you know what? We're going to go ahead and do a stout release. So I texted my brewer's assistant and brewer and was like, hey, this is what's going on this week. So,
you just call it like Christmas in July.
Now, if you look now, that's what they're working on right now. Yeah.
That's awesome. Bobby, what about you? What are your plans for the weekend?
I mean, we have nothing new's coming off the pilot for a little while. We've stacked it up with a bunch of IPAs as I've been developing our new core brand for that. I'm retiring Hot Possible, so throughout COVID, I was just playing a lot of my pilots, and so I filled up all my taps. So I was like, oh shit. And now I'm thinking, now I want some other stuff. So, but what are you gonna do? And so I have some other things sitting back there. But so nothing new this weekend. We're starting to kill them off, which is kind of good. I know that sounds terrible, but just having that many is both rare for us as a brewery. Most of you guys know that. But it also kind of defeats the purpose of having that breadth of different styles and things like that. And so pretty soon we're going to be changing it up though. So we have a pineapple Pilsner coming off the pilot just to try. That'll be really fun. I haven't brewed that in about 5 years. And no, it's not going to be pineapple juice. It's going to be clear. It's going to have nice pineapple flavor on top of Pilsner, and we use real pineapple to get it. It's just a nice little beer, especially for summer.
Nice.
Sounds good.
So and then because COVID ate up all of our fun, springtime with all those kinds of releases that we'd want to do off the pilot, I got to start thinking our Oktoberfest. God willing, we'll be able to have that in October. But for all the different lagers and things we brew on the pilot without the ability to filter or centrifuge, it takes a little bit longer. So it's about to be rotating lager time.
Yeah,
which
it's
makes
going to be
me
exciting.
Super stoked. So, double decoctions and things like that nobody else wants to talk about. That's just happening. But it's going to be fun. So, but no, that's what we've been doing. One side note that I heard a comment on earlier about how awesome it is that the beer world has taken this up, and I think it is, but it should. I mean, everything we do is about crazy new beer styles and accepting new things. I mean, why wouldn't you accept something that was so obvious and get behind something such as quality? I mean, that's, in my mind, it makes sense. It's the perfect breeding ground for it. It took a catalyst, and without a leader like Marcus to do it, of course, it wouldn't just happen. But as far as a breeding ground for it, I think it was absolutely, the perfect place to start it. Large liquor corporations aren't going to match that. Large brute beers are going to match that, and food certainly, as much as they may be collaborative as chefs, they're also highly competitive because the restaurant industry is tough. So beer, while we are competitive, we also, you might compete with a guy down the street, but you call him up when something's broken to borrow something, and you probably can't. So it's just, it's always been kind of in, I think, the DNA of that to accept that. So that's what's really cool about the industry.
That is very cool. Yeah.
The hour went by so quick.
Very special and different.
Before you guys go, thank you so much for joining. Bobby, thank you for joining. I've been drinking the hell out of some Chola, the Mexican lager that you released a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, man. Yeah, we went out there a couple of weeks ago, Bobby, to celebrate his birthday. We had a big party in the back. And and it was it wasn't a too hellish hot day. It was in the shade. It was beautiful. All the kids were playing. It was just perfect in every single way. And the beer just made it even more perfect.
Yeah,
it was
love
awesome.
that.
We were there from about 5:30 until we got kicked out.
Nicely they kicked us out.
We're going to have to figure out some way to blend it together. I can send Marcus and Christy boys. He can send me the big stouts, since that's
perfect.
There you go.
Make it happen.
Yep. Little trade route.
There you go.
Would be good.
Well,
hey guys, I just want to say thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I'm going to go back to this. Marcus, nice to meet you. Hopefully I can make it to San Antonio sometime. It's been a minute since I've been
not all hit
back
when
there.
I'm
I went to Trinity, so man, for sure. But thanks everybody, and I appreciate it. Y'all have a good rest of the day, and
thanks,
look forward
Bobby.
to the beers coming out.
Yes,
absolutely.
thank you.
Thanks, Bobby.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Bobby.
What a swell guy.
Yeah, I know.
Marcus, thank you so much too for coming on out. I know that you're busy, and I bet you probably have at least another 100, 200 people want to join after the show. For sure.
Yeah, thanks for getting on early with us too. We were one of the first ones.
Thank you for having me. I hope this ends up being number one.
Yeah,
I hope so. We're gonna share it. But cheers, you guys.
All right, you guys have a good day.
Yeah, you
too.
too.
Bye.
I mean,
That's
I love
cool.
calling. Awesome. We should call all of our friends midday and say, "Hey,
I know, right?"
You know, yeah, and now that like no one's actually people are starting to go back to work, but
yeah, I know.
Yeah. These last few months has been a great time. Like everyone's like noon, everyone's available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I have to go back as well. Thank you guys for letting me host the show today.
Sylvia,
it's been awesome.
Pleasure's ours.
I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. I make a horrible host by myself.
Well, you're an awesome producer, so
yeah.
Well, thank you. But,
yeah. I need a producer because Lindley doesn't produce anything. She shows up and she drinks and talks.
Hey, that's what I do. That's what I do.
So is this one.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
But this one, I want to say something really quickly before you go. That it's been great having Julie on this whole time.
Thank you.
She's been on for months.
I know.
And it's been awesome, and like this could possibly be her last one.
Yeah.
She goes back to work
on Monday. So all y'all out there,
everyone watching,
yeah.
we get.
I know.
This might be Julie's last one. She's gonna be working.
I know.
She's gonna be working at home, so I might be able to like steal her.
I might pop in and out, you know.
but pretty soon we're gonna be back in the studio, and we won't be doing this. So
yeah. Well, fingers crossed. You guys stay healthy. Take care of each other. Maybe we'll see you on the beer run or something sometime soon.
Absolutely, we should plan it.
For sure. Anyone else is listening, check out my podcast, anchor.fm, by searching for Draft Queens, and follow our adventures on Facebook. Lots of fun activities, beer science, beer conversation, beer talk, and just having a good time.
Yes, that's what it's all about.
Enjoying life. Bye, you guys. Have a good one.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Thanks again.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. All right, so it's just us now.
Oh, Philip, always he says, thanks for sitting in as much as you have been. Thank you, sir. Philip. I think you should co-host with him, Philip.
So really quickly, it's just us two.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else want to jump on?
Anybody out there?
Anybody out there at all?
Sydney's out there. She's probably brewing, but
we don't really have shit to do for the rest of the day.
So, Philip, if you take a break from work,
anybody at all wants to jump on,
yep,
I will send you the Zoom thing.
Yeah, that would be cool. Well, that's cool. I'm excited for everything.
No, that's cool.
That's fun.
I can't wait to try this.
And Jeffrey, if you're still out there, it'd be cool to see your try too, or your one. Let's see. Oh yeah, Philip's at work. Yeah.
No,
it's all right. They'll never know. Nobody watches.
We appreciate you every week.
We absolutely do.
And I know you're at work and you can't enjoy it.
Oh, Sydney says no, she can't.
No, so what
she has to go make pizza. She says it's her off before it's my off hour before I go make pizza. Boo! But yay for the pizza. So
I guess Sydney's on pizza duty.
I can't take that away from everybody.
So go out to Southern Yankee and try some pizza.
Oh, Jeffrey says, what are we going to talk about if he gets on? Anything you want, Jeffrey. We'll let you host. How about that?
Actually, Jeffrey, I could use some help with Shandy.
Yes. Yes. It sounds like that's what Bobby's kind of, but it wasn't. He didn't call it a shandy, but he said
everyone is gonna. They're all.
We'll talk in code. We'll talk in code.
Shitting on shandy.
Oh, so Philip, you're back at work. You're not working from home anymore.
Phil's been at work for a while.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they might figure out what you're doing. That's for sure.
Hold on. Let me find where's the code. Hold on.
All right.
Oh no, I don't think I can invite you.
You can't figure it out. Oh, you just did a huge invite. No, you're not gonna be able to figure it out. Oh, it was good news. Sydney says, but they just hired a cook for next week, so slightly more freedom to open up the second location. She said it. She said it. We'd love to discuss that if you have any more information on that.
Are you trying to tell us you don't enjoy sitting out in the in the summer heat.
And that, I know, right?
Around an 800-degree oven.
But that is awesome. That is super, super, super fabulous good news, though, Sydney, because like we were talking about before when we popped in, that means you not only things getting back on track, but opening up, expanding, getting, hiring on more people, going into other locations, things like that. So that's awesome. Just make sure we like the extra sauce. Which was so cool. You remembered that. That made his day. He talked about it for like a week. And so Jeffrey's still working at home. Oh yeah, Philip spent 5 weeks. Damn. I don't know. I'm losing my mind, y'all. So actually I've already lost it. But so Philip says he has his base beer fermenting for the shandy. We do as well.
Yeah, we do.
We have our base beer. We do have that.
I'm gonna start working on my fruit edition here shortly.
Yes, and he says, yeah, she loves sitting in a metal box with an 800-degree oven.
Yeah.
That's super exciting, though. I'm so happy to hear all that. And I want to know more about this second location.
We've been keeping this under wraps.
Yes, more depth, but it means more beer for everyone, too. But, you got to spend more to make more, right? That's the theory. You got to spend it to make it. Something like that, right? But you're doing it smart and wisely, like nobody else. It's like if I were to model a business, I would be modeling after y'all for sure. So, I mean, I see a lot of other great ones as well, but I'm more familiar with yours. Not to take anything away from anybody else. But that is awesome, and that's super good news, and I'm sure it's going to be great. Can you give us a hint where the second locale is going to be? Oh, Philip has his chef working on the juice for his.
Philip has a personal chef.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, is that his wife?
I didn't know you were that. I didn't know you were that fancy, Philip.
I'm thinking that's Mrs. Philip.
All right, Jeffrey.
So we got Jeffrey coming.
I don't know. I sent you the link, Jeffrey. If you want to pop on. If not, I think we're about to get off.
So he's like, nope. All right. I understand. I had to say it, though. I had to try.
Well, we'll talk later.
Yep. Worth a shot. All right. Let's see. Secrets. I know. Oh, his buddy Dave. Okay. I know. It's all about the secrets. But that's all right. It's worth the wait. It's absolutely worth the wait.
So, anybody have any cool weekend plans?
Oh, Jeffrey's trying.
You're trying?
Yeah. Trying for some weekend plans. So, yeah.
It's not.
Oh, Stevie's
not popping up.
Oh, no, he's the cook of the house. I wish Kennedy was. Oh, just kidding.
Thanks, Philip.
Aw, thanks, Philip. That was a good show. I like it. I always like it when we have other it's nice to have other hosts because you get that different type of perspective, and it's great to have brewers, which is really fun. I love that. And Bobby is freaking genius. Awesome. So. Hey, look at that. The man, the myth, the legend.
We got top fan Jeffrey here.
Oh, look, he's even got his own mic set. Do you do a podcast from your house too? I can't hear him.
Oh, we can't hear you, Jeff.
Are you on mute?
No, he's not muted. I can't hear you. Are you plugged in? No. But hey, you're looking good.
Yeah. What the? Look at that. He's got more mics than we do.
He's got better mics.
What is going on here? All right, Sydney, totally appreciate it.
We got you. That worked. That worked, Jeffrey.
There you go. Have a good nap, Sydney. Sydney.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We got you perfectly.
This one's a broken mic.
There you go.
Oh,
wow.
Well, sounds good.
Yeah, the broken one's the one that's working.
So, all right.
The thing's broken.
Oh, gotcha.
We can still hear it. So, everyone who's still watching, just so you know, Rogue Brewers are big contributors to this show. Jeffrey is, and right now we have a shandy competition going on. So we're probably going to talk shandies for a little bit.
Ah, okay.
Just a little warning. So how's your shandy coming along? You've already brewed it though.
Yeah, and I'm out.
Oh, you're out.
What? You already drank it?
So
too?
you're not going to enter the competition?
See, I made that beer way before the competition was even thought about.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. You did. Yeah, I remembered.
Yeah.
So I got to make it again within what? A week. When's the competition?
Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, the 26th.
So it's this month.
Yeah. So you have 8 days.
I could probably bottle some and turn it in.
There you go. You should.
So you really like used every last bit. You drank every last bit of your last shandy.
There's probably some, but I had friends over who drank a lot of it. Gave some away.
I see.
That's what
But I
you
brewed
do.
about 8 gallons of it.
Okay. Yeah. I used your grain bill to brew mine. And I'm going to be working on the fruit edition here in a second.
In a second.
Probably, maybe even tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're going to do the fruit.
So this is what Preston and Brendan kind of this was their advice, that you take the fruit and you basically boil it and bring it down. You have about 1.5 gallons, and you want to boil off about a 0.5 gallon. So basically, I'm going to boil that and then put it in a keg. And
So you're making like an extract?
Yeah, sort of.
More or less?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then add the beer to the extract. So I have 2.5 gallon kegs. And so Julie and I are both doing we got a base beer, so we're both doing our own shandies. So the extract will essentially go in two of my kegs, and then we're going to fill it up with beer, and then that's going to be it.
Now, what fruit are you using?
Can I say?
Yeah.
Secret?
I'll say.
You could say.
I'm gonna attempt watermelon, and
Okay.
Julie wants to do orange.
Mm-hmm. Is
Are
that
you gonna do
crazy?
the fruit the same way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Usually when I do fruit, I just throw it in and hope for the best.
Okay.
Really?
So what I heard is the fruit has a lot of oxygen in it, and as it goes in the keg, that oxygen is going to make everything go bad. So you want to basically boil the oxygen out of the fruit.
Yeah.
With
the watermelon, I think you want to concentrate some of that flavors, because watermelon can go
Yeah, that's
a whole
true.
different direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Will I be able to find some of the stuff online?
For what?
Yeah, like exactly how to do my watermelon.
Not
Like
sure.
directions.
I tried watermelon a few times, and they both came out bad, so I never messed with it again.
Yeah, watermelon's
boy.
a tricky one, right?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
get with Preston, whatever he said. Just do
Yeah,
that.
just do it.
I kind of did, but it's all going off memory by now.
Yeah, because he didn't write it down like I usually take
I didn't write
notes.
any of this
So.
stuff down.
I mean,
Hey,
you
Vicky,
can-
join.
You can call him.
Vicky.
Vicky, this is the after show. We're talking homebrew stuff.
Yeah.
But welcome.
Oh, Vicky, in case you haven't heard, there's a good beer.
Oh yeah, you're gonna.
There's a good beer coming around.
It's a stout based share beer, basically.
It's a big community collaboration.
Yeah, but it's a stout base, so you'll like pretty much every version of it. So
Yeah. So Marcus Baskerville from Weathered Souls Brewing in San Antonio came up with this idea, and it was only
17
days ago is when he came up with the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And already over 800 breweries are involved in this.
It's crazy. It's gonna be
Yeah.
good. So yeah. So Jeffrey, you said you might brew it. What would your, you don't have to give all the details, but what are you thinking? Your variation on it?
I don't know. First, just brew the base beer.
Just that? Just
Just-
yeah. And just see what it comes like.
I'd rather just brew the base the first time,
Uh-huh.
and then maybe add something to it next time.
Go.
Where did you find the recipe for this?
From
The website.
their website.
Oh,
Yeah.
they have it posted on their website. I guess I must have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Kennedy
I must,
didn't realize any of this till yesterday.
I guess I must,
Like, have you been on Instagram?
don't make me look bad.
Blowing up
What are
your
you doing
spot,
there?
babe. But it's interesting because it's just like the All Together beer where a lot of places have posted it or gonna do it or that type of thing. So yeah. I think it's gonna be interesting to see all the different variations. Especially with a stout.
Hold on.
Do you think a stout base makes it more difficult, or what do you think, Jeffrey? Do you think being a stout like limits it or makes it,
No, I think a stout make everything. You can do a lot of things with a stout. I think you can add more stuff to stouts, just like brownie batter or whatever you want to add to it.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's true. And pastries and things like that. It's already a
Pecan pie.
You can make it. You can make it to a dessert beer real quick.
real quick and easy. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this winter I did a stout. I didn't think I was. Yeah, I did the oatmeal cookie stout, but I didn't think I'd be doing another stout until the weather starts getting a little cooler.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's Christmas in July. So.
And I do a it's a stout, and I add caramel and coffee to it.
That sounds good.
Oh, you add caramel?
And
Yeah,
coffee.
I do a caramel extract. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to jack with any of the oils or anything coming out of that caramel.
Yeah.
Just go get the extract. Just be on the safe side.
Yeah.
Where do you get caramel extract? Is that a thing?
From the homebrew store.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had all that.
No, I forgot the name of it. It's like Brewer's Best or something. Some brand of extract. Preston has some of the flavors, or he did.
Yeah. I could probably get them. Yeah.
Yeah. Do caramel. Then I get a coffee concentrate where you just add the coffee to some water, and it pretty
Like
much makes
instant?
a coffee. Kind of an instant, so it's a liquid instant.
Oh.
And then add that to the keg.
Oh, that's cool. That sounds good.
I don't know. I feel kind of weird doing a stout in the middle of winter or summer,
especially
in the middle of summer.
10%.
Yeah, an imperial.
But we have friends, i.e.
like Vicky.
who drink stouts all the time, and I'm sure she's not the only one.
Yeah. Well, like I said at Weather Souls, he's dropping what, 8?
Yeah, 8 stouts.
8 stouts this weekend.
8 stouts this weekend.
Like, man,
I'm willing to bet their
that's
tap
even
room-
hotter there, isn't
I'm
it?
willing to bet their tap room's air conditioned.
Man, that's crazy. I like that your shirt says NASA and you got all those mics and everything and the way you're set up. So I'm just curious, are you really mission control?
Nah. No, we tried to do some like Twitch, like gaming on Twitch.
Oh,
Me and my kids playing Minecraft. And
Okay.
it lasted for a little bit, then we quit. And then they just destroyed the room behind me. So
Oh, that's what they do.
Well, kids.
It's kids. That's their job. Yeah. Oh, Philip says he drinks stouts year round too.
Yeah.
I gotta be in the mood for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
gotta be in the mood.
And
I'm kind of like on the
sweating is
Josh
not-
level of stouts.
Yeah.
Has to be a certain
Yeah.
mood
Yeah.
and
Agreed.
whatever.
I can't just be like, oh, give me this heavy 10% imperial and it's, 98 degrees and I just got off a boat, or I'm sitting on the beach side or by a pool drinking a stout. I just,
I'm also not a big fan of like super heavy IPAs when it's hot outside.
yeah, no, I like super light. Like I tend to think
It's-
Kolsch's, more like a Kolsch kind of thing.
They make me
That's what I
thirsty.
like, Yeah, the IPAs, the heavy
Yeah.
IPAs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that New England IPA. I have some of that left on tap, and I got a pale ale that I got a keg.
Oh.
And
And Mary
pale
says
ale's
her.
like around 5%.
Oh, see, yeah, 5%. That's perfect. Yeah, Mary says stouts all year round for her.
Yeah.
Ah, All around and year round. I don't know. Wow. Yeah. And Philip says, yeah, making a mess is what kids do best. Yes, exactly. So, and Mary says, hi to everyone. Hi, Miss Mary.
Mary, thanks a lot for sharing the link to the.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And saying the good words about the show.
Yep, I appreciate that. Yeah. Shared it before we even aired, so people would have a heads up. So appreciate that, and thanks for offering the space for the
200th. Whenever that happens.
Whenever that happens.
There will eventually be a 200 show.
Yep. There will be. Yeah.
So what happened to Josh today? Where's he at?
Oh, he just had some other stuff he had to take care of.
Is on assignment.
Mm-hmm.
And
we can give him hell about it when he gets back.
We'll see the fruits of his labors when he comes back.
Yes,
I'm sure. So for right now, we put him on assignment.
Yes, exactly.
It was nice to have Sylvia as a guest host.
Yeah, that was cool.
She was really good.
It was fun. So yeah, we need somebody, to replace me. Well, I'm irreplaceable, but we need another. We need a female voice on the show. I think it's kind of nice. So I don't know. Maybe they could rotate. Maybe like Sylvia, Sydney, Mary.
Well, they're all these people you speak of are welcome at any time. Anytime. So.
Yes.
What's for lunch?
I know. Well, I'm gonna have to go out there and make it. So
I know. What's for lunch?
I'm thinking buffalo chickpea salad.
Again.
My favorite. You just take chickpeas and you marinate them in buffalo sauce.
Buffalo chickpea salad.
Well,
I'm done with it.
I know. Sorry, there's no meat, but don't have to eat meat all the time.
All right, I think. Thanks for jumping on, Jeffrey.
And Gail.
I think we're about to jump off. About to end.
Yeah, it's about done with the beer and lunchtime.
So let me ask you a question. Have you been rewatching today on YouTube?
Both YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, okay, good. We got double viewers.
I started commenting on YouTube and then I jumped to Facebook.
Good, thank you. Yeah.
So we did the show way different today. It's a Zoom show, and I tried to do a lot of like the screen sharing to make our stuff go full screen, but it wasn't working out quite right. And we're not. When we get back in the studio, we're not going to be doing this anymore. But my internet here sucks, and I kind of think it's a conspiracy, and the internet's throttled everywhere. But for some reason, Zoom's fine. Zoom's fine. You can stream on Zoom.
See, Zoom is on and everything. Reason. Yeah, potentially. Who knows? Maybe next week or the following.
I forgot to record the show today.
Nice.
Oh, Kennedy. We were so close to being almost not too much
I didn't
of a mess
record
up.
the show, but I can go on YouTube and get a recording.
Okay.
Download the recording, so it's fine.
But yeah, they should be back in the studio. Any episode now, just as soon as.
Well, I don't know about next week.
Until we get a lockdown again.
Well, that's what I'm a little curious about.
That's true too. I mean, we'll see what the spike looks like.
Yeah, so see how things go. But if maybe not next week, but maybe the following week.
All right, Jeffrey. Thanks for jumping on.
Thanks all y'all for watching and paying attention and all the great comments. Appreciate you.
Hold on, I'm gonna make Josh proud right now.
You gonna do the outro?
You won't be able to hear it, Jeffrey, but.
All right, I'm gonna get off.
All right, thanks, Jeffrey. Appreciate it. Look at I got that gray streak.
Hold on.
Look, it's time for. Look, I got one gray streak.
All right. Thanks for everybody for joining today. Really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. If anybody's still listening, we'll be back next week. Not sure what we're doing, but it's going to be great.
Yeah, and buy a friend a beer.
Has been a presentation of Stewed Productions.